Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, guys. How are you doing today? First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Shafira Zahra Buditia, but you can call me Fira. I'm a student of English Education Department of State Islamic Salatiga, and I'm from class A, and with the last student number of 038. And in today's video, I'm going to talk about some materials in order to fulfill my assignment of ECT class. So without any further ado, let's get started with our material today, a descriptive text. Okay, now before we get started into our first material, I'm going to give you a small brainstorming session as an introduction before we get started into our first material, which is a descriptive text. Okay, there's a picture of a baby hippo behind me, and let's see together. And there are also five simple questions that related to the picture. Let's read it together, shall we? First of all, would you please take a look at this picture? Sure. There is a picture of a baby hippo there. It's mudeng. You know mudeng? Okay. Number 2, can you describe this animal critically? So the question asks us to describe this animal. Let's see. First, the size. It's a small baby hippo, right? And the eyes are black and small like cherries. So beautiful. And then there are 2 small ears and a cute little snout on his mouth. And the last thing, there's a big tinted pink under his skin. And number 3, can you describe where their habitat is? Okay, first of all, where does hippo lives? Hippo mainly natives in Africa or savanna, but their habitat can be in the land or in the water. They're kind of like amphibians, but they just hold their breath for a very long time. So that's why they can live under the water. And now, last one. Can you make your own examples? Well, yes, of course. We just did. In fact, we can actually describe everything in our way, in our sentence. We just need to know how to do it. And which is why today we're going to talk about a very particular subject that is called descriptive text. Let's get into it. And now let's get started with our first material about descriptive text. Descriptive text is a very common text that used to be learned in junior high school, especially in grade 7. So let's just get started with our first material about descriptive text. What is a descriptive text? Descriptive text is a text that usually tells or how to describe a particular object in detail. So the purpose is to describe it, so the reader can actually imagine and know what the object is being talked about in details. Now, after we learn about the definition of a procedure text that intends to tell the reader how to describe something or how to clearly picture some particular object in details, right? And now we're going to learn about the structure of a descriptive text. First structure, there's identification. Why? Because when we want to describe something, we must state what type of topic or object or something that we are going to talk about, or what are we going to describe. For example, this is the hippo. We just saw a picture of hippo, right? So we're going to describe that, which is why we need an example or a statement that identify what are we going to talk about. Secondly, description. After we know what we're going to talk about, Of course, we have to provide various identification related to the objects, such as the color or the size and appearance, and its function, where its habitat, and etc. It can be anything related to our object. Actually, if you're going to describe an animal, you can say what size are they in, and where do they live, how do they look like, and etc. If it's an object, you can say like what does it do, and where can you see it, where can you buy it, and etc. And now, after we learn what type of structures in descriptive text, we still could not fully write a good descriptive text without a good knowledge of language features either. So, what types of language features usually used in descriptive text? First of all, in descriptive text, they used many present tenses. You know, like present tense, yeah, subject plus verb 1 with s or as. For example, she wakes up every morning, and etc. Secondly, they use many adjectives because in descriptive text, our goal is to describe or to tell a particular object in detail, which is why we are going to need a lot of adjectives and a lot of verbs. Like the color, like pink, red, black, or the size, big, small, mini, medium, and etc. 3. Uses linking verbs like is, are, has, and have. For example, a hippo has 2 ears, a hippo has 4 legs, and etc. And now, the last one is they often use connectors like and, but, with. In order to explain something clearly, connectors such as like, and, but, and with are common in descriptive text in order to create a good explaining paragraph. And now, fellas, that is the definition of descriptive text. In order to improve your writing or your knowledge related to how to describe something, especially using descriptive text, it is very important for you to understand the structure, the language features, and especially the most important thing is how to use the correct how to use the correct like the correct adjective, correct verbs, because in descriptive text we use a lot of adjective, especially in describing. Of course we do. If it's not describing, that is not descriptive text. Okay,